and welcome to our viewers from around the world. I'm Kristen Schwartz, licensed midwife and MC here at Gold. And today I'm here with Pauline Sakamoto, and we are here to talk about her upcoming presentation titled Ethical Issues in Milk Sharing and Milk Banking. And this presentation is part of the brand new Clinical Ethics for Lactation Professionals lecture pack. Welcome, Pauline.
Thank you very much, Kristen.
Oh, it's lovely to have you here. And we want to dive into your topic that you will be presenting on in just a minute. But I want you to introduce yourself to our viewers. Where in the world are you? And tell us a little bit about your journey here.
Sure. I am contacting you from San Jose, California, in the United States. We've got sunny skies and it's gorgeous weather. And I actually, our milk bank is in the middle of Silicon Valley. So
Oh,
everybody knows from their computers and everything where Silicon Valley is. My journey actually started with my two kids. Actually, I was a donor um, in 85 and 87.
wow.
And it was an interesting dynamics because I was a public health nurse, so really supervisory and administration and working on the Medicaid program. And I found it fascinating working for a bureaucratic system and finding a small nonprofit in town that was just myself half time and another woman,
Mm.
and we had such a huge task at
Oh my
that
gosh.
time. Not only that, to find the excess milk from women in San Jose and the local areas, but also trying to teach, physicians how to use it. And so it was a really interesting time. And, I feel pretty good. I mean, been doing this for what, 35 years. And we went from 1.25 women to now today our San Jose Milk Bank is, it's about roughly about 19 employees. And we service all of California and three other states. So, it's been a real love to really meet the need and really, you know, take the challenge because it's not for the lighthearted.
I can imagine. I can only begin to imagine what kind of challenge that was. First of all, in the 80s, when that was kind of probably people looked at you going, "You want to do what?
Yeah.
Why?" And starting out with just, as you called it, 1.5 women, and having this huge amount of probably barriers,
Yeah.
misunderstanding. You had to do it not only on top of finding all the milk, but you had to do a ton of education there too.
Mhm.
With the physicians to be able to grow that and then run the operations on top of that. And it's just
Right.
amazing. So that's absolutely fantastic, and that's why I'm so excited to have you here, because this is you are one of the pioneers here in this field. So it's
Yeah.
wonderful, and thank you for sharing. So it gives us hope. You think like a task is huge, and you tackle it, and you run with it. It's wonderful. So gives us
Yes.
hope for future projects that we want to tackle in the field of lactation.
Hmm.
Right.
Yes,
um
exactly.
and looking back now, I mean, obviously so much has changed since you started, from
Mhm.
operations to screening, absolutely incredible, the amount of change that has happened there with pasteurization, the different processes, and keeping on top of that as well. And then there is ethics, right? I mean, I don't even want to. If I think of, I can think of 10 million questions that come to my mind when we're talking about ethics of milk sharing and milk banking. So how did that evolve for you?
Mhm.
The ethics questions. Was that another thing you just had on tackled, and evolved with it, or
Right.
obviously it's an ongoing process, but tell me a little bit about how that all started for you as well.
Yeah, it comes with experience in your daily life. As I said, as a director of a milk bank, you rarely have time to really step away and say, so why wasn't I able to get milk for that child? Or
Mhm.
why do I feel so bad? that that this doctor didn't get it right.
Hmm.
Why was I getting such? So you go day by day, and all anybody who uses milk from any of the milk banks, it's daily. It's your daily trying to meet the need. But the bioethics really came about, late at night when you're up, you can't sleep, and you think, what if this didn't happen, what would happen? And it's always been what's fair, really,
Hmm.
what's fair,
That's
and
fair.
and that the moms are working. As a previous donor, that you take 15 minutes out of your life if you have a pump. But during my time, I didn't have a pump or manual expressing. So you take a half hour out of your time every day to give that milk. And you certainly don't want to think that your milk is not used in the right way, what you want it to,
Yeah.
right? That
Right.
you want to make sure that all that work you did, that somebody's going to benefit from it. And
Hmm.
so that started there. And then it was surprising when the for-profit entities, and they were very, very open about it. They call me up and say, we know you're a nonprofit. You're the only one in California. And, oh, by the way, we're going to start paying our donors. It's like, what? And in California for many years, we were going neck and neck every day because we couldn't find the donors enough.
Hmm.
And um so there was this problem. And how do we resolve that?
Yeah.
And one of the ways is by banding together with other nonprofit milk banks, like the 32 milk banks that we have, that we work as a unit, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So Boston may be overflowing and swimming in milk, and
Right.
California may be low, or back the other way around, but to band together. And that was a critical step for us
Hmm.
as
Hmm.
Humana banks. But that bill on SB 1316, I have to tell you that it 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 was a aha moment. It was a way that we could, uh, really ethically look at the issue of, where is that
Hmm.
milk going, and how can women be commoditized? Is that really what we want in this country?
So yeah, tell me a little bit about that bill, the SB 1316. How were you involved in it? How did it come, about, and what was in it?
Yeah, it started because the head in the State Department of Health came over and visited our milk bank. And if you ever come over to our milk bank early on during that period, we look like a third world milk bank. I've had international folks come over. Dr. Sang from Australia came over. He says, "Well, I want to see the American milk bank, and he kind of looked around. He says, "You are third world, Pauline." And I said, "Yeah, yeah, I am. I mean, I'm just working, you know." But we're doing better now. We're in a much bigger facility, and you can hear the pounding in the background. We're adding more freezers and whatnot.
Mm.
But SB 13 was really a way that the public health department, and also UC Berkeley, um, they took what I told them was a real problem to me. They took that idea that what's fair, right?
Hmm.
And you saw the graphs that Humana banks are giving milk to all variety of kids, not just to the 10% of the NICU population,
Hmm.
with a highfalutin, a high density fortification product. And that there was a big mismatch with the amount of milk that we're able to collect and the products that we were distributing. So that bill was really, we had no idea where it would go, actually. But it was a way to really formalize the idea what WHO and the American Academy of Pediatrics state, that moms should exclusively breastfeed, that they take care of their own. We want them to succeed and take care of their own infant. And if the mom, for whatever reason, physiologic or emotional, can't fulfill that need, then there's donor milk.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, so it was a bill basically on ethics, and I'm very proud of it. It went pretty far, um, and I think it really made people think. What does that really mean? And if we were going to um, pay mothers for their milk, well, certainly it should be much higher than $1 an ounce,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Because that's labor. That's
Yeah.
women's labor. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Oh, wow. Pauline, this is absolutely fantastic here, the information you're sharing. And I can't wait for your presentation. I got a little sneak peek, I have to say, um, on the ethical issues in milk sharing and milk banking, which is part of the clinical ethics for lactation professional package here. Thank you so much, Pauline, for sitting here with me and chatting a little bit about your background, about this important bill and your journey, of course, and the amazing work you're doing. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Kristen. It's been a pleasure.
And for our viewers, if you are interested in this presentation, it is, as I mentioned, part of the Clinical Ethics for Lactation Professionals package. And you can find out more about this presentation and the other presentations in this lecture pack if you visit goldlactation.com. And you can also find it at goldlearning.com. And I hope you to check it out. And if you have any questions, you can also post them underneath here in the chat. Thank you, everyone, for participating. Bye bye now.